Welcome to Ella's Beefeaster's Radio Air Check and Classic TV channel.
Radio 1 FM. The music says it all.
Keith Dickerum, Deacon Blue, and Ziggy Marley. Good morning, Radio 1 FM. It's 21 minutes after 5 o'clock. Let's have a look at what's happening on the roads. Okay, first of all, a bit of a warning of a very serious accident on the M25. That's the London Orbital Motorway, of course. And it's occurred between junctions 15 and 16. And the clockwise or northbound carriageway remains completely blocked, which means that at present there is no access to or from the clockwise M25 from either the M4 or the M40. But police are optimistic things should clear up by 6 o'clock this morning. In Hertfordshire on the M1, one northbound lane is likely to remain closed for most of the morning. That's between junctions 5 and 6. The Watford section has some resurfacing carried out there last night. In Cumbria on the M6, northbound carriageway near junction 36, that's the A590 Kendal access, is down to one lane only, and northbound drivers intending to leave the M6 at junction 36 are advised to leave at junction 35 instead. In Surrey on the A25, single alternate line traffic through Abingdon Village between Dorking and Gomshall, and in Herefordshire on the A40, the carriageway is reduced to one lane in each direction between Wilton and Pencraig, that's near Ross on Wye. Finally, in Derby on the A619, new resurfacing work starts today at Brimington near Chesterfield, which is likely to cause a good few snarl-ups.
Radio 1 FM.
Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound.
Remember John Paul Young? That one got to number 5 in 1978. Love is in the air. Going to be playing a track from Eric Clapton's new CD just after 6 o'clock, and it's a cracking album. And here he is here, appearing on the new single by Phil Collins, I Wish It Would Rain Down. Absolutely fantastic. You don't need to be told it's Eric Clapton on the guitar, do you? You can just tell on slow hand. That's the new single by Phil Collins, and I Wish It Would Rain Down. Good morning, it's 5:30 on Radio 1. Here comes the latest news with Rob Mackenzie.
Good morning, Jackie. 5 people have been killed in a multiple accident on the M25 west of London. It involved more than 40 vehicles on the northbound carriageway between junctions 15 and 16 in Buckinghamshire. Visibility was bad because of heavy fog. Detectives are trying to trace every boy in Cumbria aged between 1 and 3 in an attempt to identify the burnt body of a baby discovered nearly 6 weeks ago. The child was found on a rubbish tip in the town of Millham near Barrow-in-Furness. It's thought 6,000 boys will have to be traced. The ambulance unions will meet later today to consider their next move in the 17-week-old pay dispute. The National Health Service Supremo Duncan Nicol has ruled out immediate talks unless the unions make it clear they'll drop their demand for a pay formula linked to that of firefighters. The government has rejected calls for a ban on smoking in public places like restaurants and shops. Health Minister Roger Freeman said it was important to recognise the rights of both smokers and non-smokers, though he says he's a pipe man himself, but reckons it's bad manners to light it in public. 1FM News Flow, 5:31.
Thank you, Odders. Are you well?
I'm very well, thanks. Jackie, how are you?
Very well. Looking forward once again to joining you on the new Breakfast Crew.
Yeah, and I saw your picture in one of the papers this morning. I thought you were looking very fine in it as well.
You're a jolly nice man.
Wake up. You know you gotta, you don't wanna, but you gotta, 'cause it's time to wake up. Take a look at the clock. Shake the sleep from your head. Get yourself out of bed, 'cause Jackie is here to put your system in shock. Wake up. Jackie Brambles, Radio 1 FM. Don't want your love anymore. Don't
Fabulous song. The Everly Brothers and Kathy's Clown. Oh, it's 26 minutes to 6 o'clock now. And a little classic experience of the day. Bit of culture in the programme. God knows we need it. Comes from Bach. This is Air. Weather around the UK today. Starting off, first of all, where are we? The Orkney and Shetland Islands, blustery showers and bright spells with some gale force winds and very, very stormy at sea. So don't go out in your boat. In the Moray Firth, northeast and northwest Scotland, some bright spells and also some blustery showers. Wintry on the hillsides. Chance of the odd snow flurry or two. In the Borders country, Edinburgh and Dundee, Aberdeen, Argyll, southwest Scotland, Glasgow, the Central Highlands and also Northern Ireland. Bright spells and scattered blustery showers all over the shop. Also some strong winds occurring there. In South and North Wales today, cloudy with some patchy rain, becoming a bit brighter though in the afternoon. And then a bit rainy again in the evening. Can't win them all. In East Anglia, East and West Midlands, East, North West, Central, Northern and North Eastern England. Also the West Midlands, the Lake District and the Isle of Man. For you today, some cloud and patchy rain. And later on it should become a bit drier and brighter, fortunately. Quite high temperatures for you today, around 8, that's 46 Fahrenheit. But of course, the south has it. The warmest place today, 11 centigrade, 52 Fahrenheit. That's for London, the southeast, the central south and southwestern parts of England and the Channel Islands, where it's going to be cloudy with patchy rain, but drying up later on in the day. Just approaching 24 minutes to 6 o'clock, and this is a group called 7.
Coast to Coast, Radio 1 FM.
Inside Love 7, and that's the new one from Martika. And you entry 39 this week in the charts. And I Love You More Than You Know. Coming up in, around 7 minutes time, we're going to have a look at the front pages of the British press, see what's occurring. Only the quality ones, of course. No publicity for the nonsense ones. First of all, though, something that was a hit. Got to number 2 in 1983 for F.R. David. Remember him?
FM into the 90s.
Great comeback single from Deborah Harry, written by the Thompson twins, Lana Curry and Tom Bailey. Want That Man. Good morning, if you just joined us. Jackie Brambles through till 6:30. And in a moment we're going to have a look at the front pages of the British newspapers and see the main stories that are hitting the headlines. Starting off first of all on the front page of The Independent today, as is nearly every newspaper carrying this story, Nelson Mandela likely to be released within weeks. Nelson Mandela has given the first direct indication that his release is imminent after 27 years in South Africa's prisons. His wife Winnie said after visiting him yesterday that she expected him to be free in a matter of weeks. I don't think we're talking about months any longer, she told reporters. Consistently sceptical in the past about rumours of her husband's release, she said, I am very hopeful now. This is the real stuff. Good news. Front page of the Daily Telegraph, concerned with the ambulance dispute. The government and National Health Service management increased pressure on the ambulance workers' unions last night by insisting that peace talks can take place only if there is an indication of a substantial change in their position. Prospects of an early breakthrough in their 18-week-old dispute receded as ministers made it clear that they wanted a written assurance that the unions were scaling down their wage claim and dropping their demand for a long-term formula linking ambulance crews' pay to that of firemen. On the front page of The Guardian today, more news from the Eastern Bloc. Tens of thousands of East Germans demonstrated in Leipzig last night to protest at what they fear are moves by the communist leadership to cling to power and resurrect the hated secret police, the Stasi, under a new guise. Demonstrators waved West German flags and demanded unity. At one point, 3 members of the extreme right-wing West German Republican Party, which is considered neo-fascist in East Germany, handed out leaflets, but demonstrators burned them and their banners and told them to leave the city. Very disturbing story on the front page of the Daily Express today. It's their lead story, Massacre of the Whales. Japan's whaling fleet arrived in the Antarctic last night to begin another slaughter in defiance of the world ban on commercial hunting. The massacre of hundreds of whales, prompting renewed global condemnation, will start as the Japanese premier arrives in London for talks with Mrs. Thatcher. His visit will put her in the forefront of international demands to stop the latest threat to 300 whales, which the Japanese claim are being killed for research purposes. 7 to 6.
Outside another yellow wind has punched a hole in the nighttime mist.
Written by Tom Waits, produced by Trevor Horn. That's the new single from Rod Stewart called Downtown Train. Big favourite of our man Mayo's, we know. 3 minutes to 6 o'clock. Good morning, it's Tuesday. Certainly feels like it. And it's the 9th of January 1990. This is Sonia, and Listen to Your Heart.